Most people are one unexpected bill away from going into debt, but you don't have to be. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how much your emergency fund should be, where to keep it, and how to build it, step by step, no matter your income. So, what is an emergency fund and why does it even matter? An emergency fund is essentially the foundation of your financial life. It's pretty much what keeps a flat tire, a surprise bill, or losing your job from literally destroying your bank account. The problem in today's world is most people either just don't have enough saved, or whatever they do have saved is just sitting in a bad account earning nothing. So today, let's fix both. A recent 2025 study shows that 51% of Canadians could not afford a surprise $1,000 expense, meaning if their car blew up and they needed to spend $1,000 to get it fixed, they simply couldn't without having to go into severe debt to get it. This is where an emergency fund comes into play. An emergency fund is money set aside for unexpected expenses, not vacations, not shopping, and even not investing. It's for things like car repairs, medical bills, surprise expenses, losing your job, things along that line. It's simply money that gives you time, stability, and peace so you don't have to panic when the expenses of life hit, because it will. So, how much do I need in my emergency fund? The general rule here is you want 3 to 6 months of essential expenses saved in your emergency fund. Not your income, not your entire lifestyle, just the essentials. So what this includes are things like rent or your mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, which includes car insurance, gas, things like that, minimum debt payments, home insurance if that applies, phone plans. You could even add like a gym membership to that. So you can take whichever one of those applies to you. Just make a list in your phone and write down the cost of each of those things. Now your total that you've just come up with, I like to call your baseline. Now we're going to have 3 different categories. You can either multiply that number by 3 months, by 6 months, or by 9 to 12 months. Now you're going to multiply that number by 3 if you have a stable job, no kids, and you have relatively low expenses. Or you're going to multiply that number by 6 if you have variable income, dependents, or higher expenses. Now I would recommend a 9 to 12 month emergency fund for anybody who is self-employed or if you are in a high risk field. So a quick example is if you fall into the first category, which is a 3-month emergency fund, and your expenses are about $2,000 a month, your emergency fund should be $2,000 times 3, which is $6,000. The only thing that I would mention is if you have really high debt, meaning student loans, bad credit card debt, whatever it is, if you have really bad debt, I would focus on getting yourself a 1-month emergency fund just so you can cover the basic random surprise expenses that life throws at you. And then after that, you want to target your debt first. Debt is the most important thing to get out of your life as soon as you possibly can. So don't worry too much about your emergency fund. Just save up enough to get a 1-month emergency fund. Focus on your debt. Once you've crushed that, then you can return back to your emergency fund and boost that up to a 3-month, 6-month, or whatever you need. Okay, so you know what an emergency fund is. You know how much you need. Where do you keep it? Your emergency fund has to hit all 4 of these targets. It needs to be safe, liquid, easy to access, and earning interest. Your best option here is to find yourself a high interest savings account. This way you're going to be earning interest on it, but it's also very easy to access and you can get that money almost instantaneously if need be. Personally, I use Wealthsimple's cash account as my emergency fund. It's currently offering a 1.25% interest rate, but I do know that there are other online banks out there that can offer higher interest rate, so feel free to shop around. In the last video, I had a comment talking about Neo and how Neo offers a 2.5% interest rate, which is almost double Wealthsimple's. Typically, online banks are going to be able to give you a little bit of a better interest rate than physical banks, just because they have a lower overhead cost and they're able to relay that to their customers. You can also shop around and look for sign-up bonuses because a lot of online banks will offer you sign-up bonuses such as a 6% interest rate for the first 6 months or something along those lines. So feel free to look around, find the best option, find one that works for you, and stick with that. Do not, and I repeat, do not put your money into stocks, crypto, locked accounts, or long-term investments. In the event of an emergency, you get injured and you can't work, you lose your job, your car blows up, you need to have access to that money relatively quickly. And if you're invested into any of those things, or if your money is in a locked account or somewhere that you're not going to be able to get it within, 5 days or longer, it's actually not much benefit to you. So again, keep it in something that is safe, liquid, easy to access, and that earns interest. Next is, how do I actually build my emergency fund? Well, you already know what your baseline is per month. So let's say, for example, you get paid bi-weekly. Take your total monthly baseline and divide that by 2. That is your money that you absolutely need, no matter what, per paycheck to live. Anything over that you received on your paycheck, you can put that towards your emergency fund. So let's just say, for example, your baseline is $1,000. That means every paycheck you need to be keeping at least $500 in your checkings account so that you can cover your expenses for those 2 weeks until your next paycheck. Now, if your paycheck is $2,000, that means you're left with $1,500 every paycheck to put towards your emergency fund. On top of that, you can put any unexpected money like checks from the government, bonuses, side job money, whatever unexpected income that you're receiving, put that straight towards your emergency fund until it's fully built. The goal is to get this done as fast as possible. You can also cut some small expenses while you're building it, like Starbucks or going out for lunch to eat, things like that, tracking your monthly progress, just little things like that will ultimately help you reach that goal just a little bit quicker. Okay, but when do I use my emergency fund? Your emergency fund is only supposed to be used on things that are unexpected, urgent, and necessary. Examples that I've already given: car breaks down, job loss, medical expenses, things of that nature. An emergency fund is not for concert tickets, I'm speaking to myself there, new clothes, vacations, anything along that line. So let's say you did have to dip into your emergency fund. When do you rebuild it? The answer is simple: immediately. Don't continue with your regular investing and try to build up your emergency fund at the same time. Just stop everything you're doing, and the next time you get paid, the next time you have free money, you take that and you put as much as you can into your emergency fund until it's fully built back up again. And then you don't touch it until another emergency comes. An emergency fund isn't just money, it provides you with stress-free living. It's knowing that you and or your family are covered no matter what. So that is my basic rundown, my 101 on emergency funds. So if this video helped you at all, then please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And leave a comment down below if I missed anything, if you have any questions, or even just to share where you keep your emergency fund. I'd be interested to know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's it for this one. And until the next one, peace.